Well, we're at Silver Springs State Park in Ocala, Florida. Our first time here. This used to be a tourist attraction, privately owned, but it has since been bought out by the state and made into a state park. It has the original glass bottom boats still in service, but I've not been here since it became a state park. I'm anxious to see what kind of modifications they made. It looks like the park admission is $2, and from what the sign says, we can bring bicycles in here. And there's Wayne and Terry, looking beautiful as usual. Terry, not Wayne. Okay, we just paid our admission, $2 each to get in, and $14 each to ride the glass bottom boats. So we're heading over to get on the glass bottom boats. We got about 10 minutes. Ought to be pretty interesting. This is a visitor center. Got a few restaurants in here. Okay, we're trying to get on the glass bottom boat. We found the entrance to the attraction. Board. Okay, we're on our way for the big adventure. We're going to be riding the Chief Yoholo with Captain Sean.
You don't even need to leave the dock. We can sit here and watch that bubble for 30 minutes. Well, when it gets to the center, we know we're at level. No, they just get under there.
Did you have to wash the glass?
Yes, sir, I did. You're sitting on the flagship. This is the cleanest boat in the fleet. Due to yours truly. I try to keep it Navy clean in here. All right, everybody, welcome aboard. Please take your time, watch your step. Yoholo, this boat was built and put into service in the 1960s, so we are on an antique. It's got lots of history, lots of memories on it. We're going to go make some new memories on it. How's that sound to everybody? Yeah. Now, it is a Coast Guard inspected vessel, so I do need to go over some safety things with you before we start heading down the river. The first thing is going to be those life jackets located right above your head. If we have any kind of emergency, say that we happen to hit an iceberg or by the off chance a Russian submarine sneaks in here and starts firing torpedoes at us, what I need everybody to do, you reach up there, you grab one of those bright orange things, your head goes through the hole, the strap goes around your body, you buckle in, and we start heading to shore. Might as well enjoy the water on the way there too, right? That glass you're looking through right there is just regular glass. It's about a half an inch thick, and there's no special lighting, special effects, or magnification. How this all got started was back in the 1870s. A couple young boys decided they were going to cut a hole in the bottom of the rowboat, put a piece of glass in it, and start paddling people up and down this river for a nickel ride. A few years after that, it became commercial. 147 years later, here we are. We're still doing it today. Millions of people from around the world have been on these world-famous boats, and it is certainly my honor to have you guys today. So while you're looking down there, you're going to be seeing a lot of different kinds of fish. We do got 32 different species of fish here in the Silver River, including but not limited to, we got bass, brim, catfish, gar, bowfin, mullet, American shad, chain pickerel. That's just to name a few of them. We also got a couple species that don't belong in here, some invasives. One is called the Plecostomus. That would be the suckerfish that you see on the glass of freshwater aquariums, but they will get about 2 feet long here in the Silver River. Another kind of fish that we got in here that doesn't belong is called the tilapia. Has anybody ever heard of tilapia before? Yeah, does anybody know where those come from? There's a place in the world called Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. You guys know the place right now. They actually come from the Nile River in Africa. They were the first fish that was ever commercially farm-raised, distributed throughout the world. We're not exactly sure how they got in here, but they are out-competing our native fish. They like to eat the grass that our fish lay their eggs in. Now, over the years, a lot of things was filmed here on the Silver River. Over 200 movies, television shows, commercials, and documentaries. So the first spring, they nicknamed the Spring of Stars, and that's just to pay tributes to everyone that's done work here over the years. People such as James Dean, Jerry Lewis, Jane Russell, Burt Reynolds, Tom Cruise. That's just to name a few of them. Of course, Johnny Weissmuller, Olympic gold medalist. He played Tarzan in those first 6 Tarzan movies. All 6 of those were filmed here. We can't leave him out. And this first spring is called the Spring of Stars, and it'll be 26 feet to the bottom of this spring. That's right, folks, 26 feet. Those depths can be very deceiving due to the clarity of the water, but you can see why underwater filmmakers like working here. That clear water, that natural lighting, and made deep water scenes very easy to accomplish without all the inherent risk of deep water filming. Now this next location I'm going to bring you to is an actual movie set. Some of y'all might remember that 1950s cult classic, Creature from the Black Lagoon. That was filmed right over here. There's a cave down there at the bottom and 35 feet of water. That was considered the creature's home. Now we had a stunt diver that worked here in the 50s. His name was Rico Browning, and he was hired to play the part of the creature. He was hired for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is that he could hold his breath up to 4 minutes. They didn't want any bubbles in the scene from scuba diving equipment, so Rico would take a big deep breath. He'd swim 35 feet down into that cave you see beneath us, wait for the director's cue, and come on out, and he'd be filming. They filmed those creature scenes here. It goes all day long. You're correct. This to dry their wings. They lack that natural oil that most birds have in their feathers. Not having that oil in their feathers is what allows them to dive so deep. Another nickname for that anahinga is the snake bird, because if you see one in the water, they're swimming through the water, the only thing sticking up is their head. It kind of looks like a snake. It's called a snake bird. You can see how sharp that beak is, Now this next little area right here is called the Spring of Life, and it's a series of about 20 or so smaller springs. So anywhere you see some shell, a little hole in the ground, or anything like that, will be one of those smaller springs. Now we do classify springs. We classify them on what's called the magnitude scale. Magnitude 1 through 8, 1 being the largest, 8 being the smallest. And we classify them not for their size, but for the volume of water they put out every day. In order to be classified as a magnitude 1 spring, that spring needs to produce more than 65 million gallons or more a day. This spring is called the Blue Grotto, and it's 38 feet to the bottom of it. Thomas Edison actually named this spring back in 1917. He was messing around with underwater filming equipment back then. He filmed the first thing that was ever filmed here along the Silver River. It was a silent film. It was black and white. It was called Seven Swans. He filmed that here, named it Blue Grotto for that pretty blue color. You know, might be wondering, how does it get that blue coloration? Well, as I said at the beginning of the tour, no special lighting or special effects. What's happening here is that sunlight comes down through the water column. It reflects off the bottom, off the shell and the limestone. It refracts back to us as a prism, and we see that as the color turquoise, similar to how a rainbow is formed. Isn't that pretty down there? This is a lot of people's favorite spring. Now there is no hunting or fishing, there's no fishing or swimming along the length of the Silver River, so if those fish are smart enough to stay in here, they'll never see the bottom of a frying pan. Another one of those antiques over here. Over here to the right. Now that grass you're seeing beneath us right there, that's called eelgrass. That eelgrass grows about 4 to 6 feet in length. You can tell which direction the river's flowing by which way that grass is pointing. And that grass is the favorite diet of the manatees. They can consume about 200 pounds of that every day. That earns them the nickname the sea cow. Even though they don't have any relationship to the cow. Does anybody know what their closest animal relative is going to be?
Elephant.
Elephant. Who said elephant? Yes, ma'am. 500 Silver Springs points to you. Now let me tell you all about those points. They have no value, cannot be redeemed anywhere in the park, but they are your points for the remainder of your visit. Please cherish this. Do that, all right? I'm going to reference that a little later in my tour, okay? But right now, I'd like to bring you to my favorite spring. This next spring has been my favorite ever since I was a kid. The name of this spring is Spanish Spring or Cypress Spring, and there's always a lot going on in here. There's usually a lot of turtles in here for me turtle lovers. Keep your eyes out. They like to hang out in that zone. The depths can be very deceiving in here. It'll be 25 feet to the bottom of this spring, and you got this huge, hundreds of years old cypress tree in here, and then laying underneath of that cypress tree, see that boat laying on the bottom down there?
Oh yeah. Look, Bobby. Look at the boat.
Back when I was a kid, they used to tell us that was a Spanish rowboat, but they weren't able to tell how old it was.
A big old. Did you see that turtle flopped up?
They told us that was a Spanish rowboat. They couldn't tell how old it was or where it came from. It was this big mystery, but over the years it's been determined that that's actually one of the original glass bottom boats that was placed down there purposely around 1940 or so, just to add some character to the spring. Alright folks, keep your eyes on the glass because we're going to be dropping off 45 feet of water here. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the Mammoth Spring.
Look at that! Wow, got really deep.
The spring opening's underneath me, and I'll spin this boat around so everybody can see it. The opening is 6 foot tall in the center and 65 feet wide, and it produces between 300 and 500 million gallons of water every day. That does make it a magnitude 1. That also makes it one of the largest natural springs on the entire planet.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question?
What is the green algae at the bottom called?
The green algae.
It doesn't have any other.
Green algae is the actual name for it.
Just never seen it in like long blankets.
Oh yeah, it will. Yeah. Well, the reason it's growing so much in here is because it's all limestone down there, so there's no other plant life to take up that nitrogen in the water, so it grows thick like that.
Wow.